Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. 8 Harsh Realities of Rewatching Yellowstone Season 1 After the Series Final. This article mentions suicide. Some harsh realities come with rewatching Yellowstone Season 1 now that Taylor Sheridan's original neo-Western show has ended. Yellowstone began in 2018, helmed by Kevin Costner as John Dutton, i.e., a fifth-generation Montana rancher desperate to protect his family and the legacy of the Dutton family tree. John Dutton's family owned the largest contiguous ranch in the United States, comprising hundreds of thousands of acres. At the end of Yellowstone Season 5, John's kids, Beth, Kelly Riley, and Case, Luke Grimes, trade in their family's legacy to protect it, with John's son selling the Yellowstone Ranch to the Broken Rock Tribe, the ultimate preservationists. Casey's decision brought Yellowstone full circle, fulfilling Taylor Sheridan's prophecy in 1883 that said the Duttons would give the land back to the ancestors of its indigenous stewards. Still, some elements of Yellowstone Season 1 stand out now that the series has concluded. One of the harshest realities of Yellowstone Season 1 is that Jamie Dutton, Wes Bentley, was the best lawyer for the Yellowstone Ranch. In Yellowstone series premiere, Jamie vehemently defends the ranch against an eminent domain case, arguing his position with intellect, skill, and charisma with great success. Ultimately, Wes Bentley's Jamie was one of the first to see that the biggest threat to the family keeping the ranch was his father, who refused to modernize his approach. Of course, Jamie doesn't subscribe to the family's commitment to preserving the land like his father and siblings. One of the many reasons that Jamie becomes an antagonist as Yellowstone progresses. Still, despite having a different vision, Jamie is happy to please his father and follow through on orders successfully and without question until Beth's arrival. Beth is hostile toward Jamie, disrupting his status quo in tandem with Lee Dutton's Dale Annabelle death. In Yellowstone Season 1, Monica Long Dutton, Kelsey Asbill, has a robust story outside of life on the Yellowstone Dutton Ranch. Casey's wife is a teacher at the school on the Broken Rock Reservation, which gives her purpose and fulfillment outside of her ties to Casey's family. While Monica is ultimately assaulted by a student at school, injuring her and shaking her career, she perseveres, taking on a career as a college lecturer while maintaining her commitment to her students. We don't hear anything about Monica's teaching storyline after Yellowstone Season 2. Amid this transition, Monica also becomes emotionally unstable after Tate's, Brecken Merrill, kidnapping, fighting with her husband about their role in his family's operations. Ultimately, Taylor Sheridan missed an opportunity to further develop Monica's story outside the Dutton family's war, showing what's at stake for the Broken Rock Tribe's most represented member. Thomas Rainwater's story also could have been fleshed out more to better round out Yellowstone and its message. In Yellowstone's premiere, Rainwater tells a Montana senator that he believed he was Mexican until he was 18. Only learning about his Native American heritage after his adoption records were unsealed. When Thomas threatens John Dutton in Yellowstone Season 1, we learn about his extensive business background, attending Harvard before working at Merrill Lynch. However, we never learn more about Thomas Rainwater's background outside the first chapter. Therefore, we don't fully understand what inspired Thomas to return to Montana to improve his people's way of life. Learning more about Thomas would have helped the audience understand why he wanted the land, perhaps giving Yellowstone Season 5 finale a better landing for those who found it controversial. Rewatching Yellowstone Season 1 is a reminder of how much John Dutton's grandson meant to him. In Yellowstone series premiere, John asks Case to spend more time with his grandson, likening quality time with his kin to a salve that would heal the perils he faces protecting the ranch. While Case hesitates to let his father get to know his son, John and Tate develop a relationship in Yellowstone Season 1 that is vital to both parties. Tate's final moments with his grandfather happen off-screen in Yellowstone Season 5, Episode 6, When They Go Fishing. It's sad to realize that John and seventh-generation Tate Dutton never got to say goodbye. While this is true for almost everyone, since John's death was unexpected, Tate's lack of time with his grandfather is worse due to their strong connection. While some characters, like Monica, had a conclusive conversation with John Dutton before his death, Tate's final moments with his grandfather happen off-screen in Yellowstone Season 5, Episode 6, When They Go Fishing. As Case says in Yellowstone's premiere, another harsh reality of looking at the show from the beginning is that John Dutton asked too much of his kids. Rewatching Yellowstone Season 1, Episode 1, reminds the audience of this truth. Casey's conversation with his brothers, Jamie and Lee, reveals that John's youngest son was so affected by the father's words that he permanently moved away from the ranch. Casey's remarks about John's expectations are validated as Yellowstone progresses. Despite Casey's reluctance to open back up to his family, John eventually persuades Case to take over as the ranch's foreman and assume his role as livestock commissioner. Additionally, Jamie blames John for making him into a lawyer, and Beth's mission to please her father causes her cognitive dissonance until John Dutton's death in Yellowstone Season 5. Rewatching Yellowstone Season 1 is a reminder that Case and Monica have wanted another child since the series began. However, throughout 5 seasons of the original show, Case and Monica never welcomed another child. In the premiere, the Yellowstone power couple discusses having more offspring, since Monica does not want to see Tate leave the nest, and Case suggests they have more children to offset the loss. Knowing that Case and Monica have wanted another child for at least 7 years is all the more devastating in the context of the whole show. In Yellowstone Season 5's premiere, Monica is pregnant with her second son, John Dutton IV. Monica's baby dies when she gets into a car accident on her way to the hospital, and Season 1's context shows how many years of hopes and dreams this event crushed for Case and Monica. Monica Dutton is surrounded by her family on the Broken Rock Reservation in Yellowstone Season 1. Monica has a community comprised of her loved ones, and she prepares dinner with her sisters and jokes with her brother as they sit in Monica and Case's living room in the premiere. The beginning of the show contrasts with Monica's experience later, when she gets sucked into qualms that plague the Dutton family tree. By Yellowstone Season 5, Monica has lost her whole family, except for her immediate clan and her grandfather, Felix Rudy Ramos. Monica begins to lose her kin in Yellowstone's premiere, when a range war between the ranch and her tribe causes a hostile conflict, ultimately forcing Case to shoot Monica's brother, Robert Long, Jeremiah Bitsu, in self-defense. After Robert dies, his wife shoots herself, and the loss of Monica's relatives contextualizes why Case's wife has so much trouble adjusting afterward. Looking back at Yellowstone's earliest scenes, it's clear that Taylor Sheridan's original series has more melodrama than its successors. After Yellowstone became one of the biggest television shows, Sheridan followed it with 2 prequels, 1883 and 1923, which detailed life on the ranch for John's ancestors. While Yellowstone became an instant classic with subversive neo-Western themes, some would argue that 1883 and 1923 are better than Yellowstone. Where the prequels are more universally highly regarded, Yellowstone is sometimes equated to a soap opera despite its popularity. Yellowstone spin-offs have more traditional Western elements and are more sophisticated in their plights and drama. Therefore, where the prequels are more universally highly regarded, Yellowstone is sometimes equated to a soap opera despite its popularity. Rewatching Season 1 reminds audiences that Sheridan's original series leaned into exaggerated moments from the start, with the earliest conversations between Yellowstone's characters sometimes missing the mark that shows like 1883 raised the bar with.